All right. Hi, Leos. Welcome to your reading. If you're new to the channel, I do timeless readings, which means that whenever you find these videos is when you guys are meant to hear the messages within them. And just in case you subscribe, I upload my new videos for Leo and Aquarius on Fridays. Also, the deck that I'm using today is called the O-Star Tarot, and that's O-S-T-A-R-A. And as always, if you guys are interested in getting your personal reading, the information is in the description below. And I do want to give you guys a little heads up that sometimes the cards like to flip over in the deck. I do see them. However, I usually don't take cards unless they jump out, like these ones have. And usually if they jump out in groups that are too big, I'll go ahead and put them back. But my goal here is to get you guys one or two more cards, and then we can get started on your reading. I'm going to go ahead and take this in the upright. All right, Leos, I do want to remind you guys that in case you enjoyed the reading, the best way to let me know is by leaving a like or a comment. But your overall energy here is the Hierophant. So the Hierophant here speaks of traditions. So I'm actually getting that you guys right now are feeling a little bit trapped within traditions, because I'm seeing what would be a lot of positive cards in the reverse, right? So the Page of Wands, the Ace of Wands, the Lovers, the Six of Wands, right? And I'm kind of attributing that to this Hierophant energy. So I'm thinking that you guys are just feeling super trapped in traditions and sort of expectations. I think both like familiar expectations sounds like a big one, like expectations put on you by your parents and your family. But I'm also getting that societal expectations might be weighing you down. Just like this overall feeling of being trapped and not really having the energy here, or not the energy so much, but like the ability to do what you want. And you know, I feel like you guys feel just so trapped and suffocated from it. And, you know, certainly because you have this this Eight of Cups coupled with the Chariot card, like you're moving away from that. That to me, like, speaks volumes about how you are feeling right now. I think that right now, your number one priority is to sort of get back this sense of feeling free and the sense of freedom, because something is weighing you down and it's stressing you out and it has you in a different mood state, I feel. Because, like, you know, we have all these positive cards and I don't think it's like you to be in such a negative sort of headspace. But I do want to touch on a little bit more about the Eight of Cups and the Chariot. So the Eight of Cups talks about walking away from a situation, right? And I think it's important to note that it's the Eight of Cups, and the cups speak of emotional connections to things. So like I was saying earlier, a lot of these things that might have you down are emotional ties, either to your family and their expectations, or maybe even society or your work. And I'm not saying to completely isolate yourself or completely cut people off, but I am saying to maybe detach a little bit and, you know, sort of recognize that just because people have these expectations on you, you don't have to follow through with them. You can do whatever you want. And I think that that's a truth that you guys have known for a long time. And I'm kind of preaching to the choir a little bit when I'm telling you that. But certainly, I feel like you guys have hesitated to take action on it for a little bit, and that's why you're getting these cards here. Like, these cards, to me, would feel like cards that are a solution to your problem. So logically, to me, that would be at the end, sort of like identifying what the problem is and then what the solution is. But because it's like the other way around, it feels like you guys not only already know, but you're doing it to avoid a lot of this, right? Because I think that if you continue to follow through with what everyone else is saying, and not listening to yourself and not listening to your own intuition, you're going to see these things. You're going to see the Ace of Wands in reverse, and you're going to see the Lovers in reverse. Like, I think that if you don't listen to yourself, like, there's obviously extremes and happy mediums and whatever, but I feel like on the extreme part where you're not listening to yourself at all and just listening to whatever anyone else has to go on, you're going to miss these new beginnings in things that you actually care about, and you're going to cause some rifts in your relationships. So, and like, that doesn't necessarily have to be just your emotional or rather, sorry, the word I'm looking for is romantic, right? It doesn't have to just be your romantic relationships. It might also be your platonic relationships too. So you might be seeing some like strain with your friends and maybe even close relatives, right? So you need to sort of take charge in a way where people will sort of back off, but not in a way that's very abrasive or hostile, right? And I feel like that's sort of the balancing act that you guys need to pull off right now. And it feels very temperance to me, right? Which is like balancing things out in moderation. But then you also have the Lovers here, which to me also kind of says a lot of the same themes, right? That balance. And again, the Lovers is in reverse, so I feel like there's a lot of sense of disequilibrium in your life right now. And I think a lot of it does have to do with work, because you have the Eight of Pentacles here and the Six of Wands in reverse. So I'm getting that, certainly because this sort of Emperor, or sorry, not the Emperor, this is the Emperor, but this Hierophant energy is what's causing you trouble right now. So you need to change up your approach to things a little bit. And I'm getting that for sure in work a lot, because this is the Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles talks about developing a skill. It talks about when you sort of work at something and then you have it mastered, right? So this is like, think of this as like 8 different attempts at creating a pentacle, and then by the last pentacle, this owl finally gets it right and creates the perfect pentacle, right? So that's the idea, but you have the Six of Wands in reverse, and the Six of Wands talks about victory, right? It's happiness, it's coming back a champion, and because it's in reverse, it almost feels like you're walking away not really having gotten anything out of the situation. So like I was saying, you need to really change your approach and maybe try something different than what you would normally do, or else you might just end up in this sort of sum-zero game where you don't win anything, right? And I feel like maybe in the past that's what you have done, and you've sort of looked at everything like a sum-zero game, or maybe people have instructed you to do things that way, or, that's sort of been like the expectation. But now I think that this is telling you to think a little bit outside the box. Try something new. Try something bold. Try something that's very Eight of Cups or Chariot, right? So the Chariot is also basically says the same things that the Eight of Cups does, in the sense that you're moving away from a situation. And then you have these 2 cards here, which are the Page of Wands and the Emperor. So the Emperor to me is a very powerful energy, right? It's the divine masculine energy, and it talks about, getting things done, right? So a lot of times, historically, this masculine energy in this context has been attributed to sort of the external world. So think of getting things done materially, or, working with others, that kind of a thing. Whereas I feel like you guys have kind of put yourself to the side a little bit when it comes to your introspection, your more divine femininity, things that have to do with going within. I feel like if you listen to yourself, if you listen to the inside of yourself, your gut, your intuition, your feelings, you're gonna get a lot more of this masculine sort of this Emperor energy here. And, don't get too caught up in the words masculine and feminine. I'm just using those as stand-ins for that kind of energy. So if you listen to your ability to know things internally, you're going to be able to get things done externally. And this is your your Page of Wands. And the Page of Wands to me feels like a message. And I feel like you guys are expecting some kind of a message, but there might be some delays or something that doesn't quite go right. We are currently in a retrograde, so it is possible that you guys might be experiencing something like that. Do know that communication is going to come through. Just be patient and really take some time to work on all this, because these three cards here, just it feels almost like a lost opportunity because they're such positive cards. I would have loved to have seen them all in the upright position, but I feel like you guys are doing a lot in the way of moving away from this energy so that these can be in the upright. So just a quick summary of what your reading is. Take control for yourself and don't let people sort of walk all over you or boss you around. And, I don't mean to use that negative language, but, really take control of your life, because other people will not live it the way that is best for you. But that was your reading the first time around, Leo. If you enjoyed, please take a moment to leave a like or a comment, because I really like to know if these readings resonate with you guys. But like I said before, I upload my new videos for Leo on Friday. But in the meantime, you guys are more than welcome to watch any of my other timeless readings that I have up on the channel. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys next time for your next reading.